the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Matt, may we please have roll call?
Councillor Hickerson,
Here.
Hanson,
Here.
Zadi,
Here.
Demas,
Here.
Pedri,
Here.
Bingham,
Here.
Malonis,
Here.
Thompson,
Here.
Mayor Mickelson.
Here. Okay, that brings us to council updates, and this evening I will start with Councillor Demas.
Okay, thank you, Mayor. My first thing that I did this last 2 weeks was I attended the URA New Year's Eve Planning Committee. I also attended Climb Wyoming's graduation for their nursing program. I also attended the Festival of Trees put on by the YWCA. I did a Joint Powers Combined Communication meeting. I also attended a meeting that was put on by the mayor with the budget concerns with Joint Communication Center. And I also attended the opening ceremony for Christmas in the Park. And that's it.
Very good.
Am I up?
Yes, sir, Councillor Pedri.
Alrighty. Well, good job, Jeannie. So over the last couple weeks, started off Thursday after the meeting with the preliminary FEA, and we went through the slideshow that they went through tonight that everybody at the public got to see, addressed quite a few concerns and questions with constituents over the increase in the fees. And on Thanksgiving, we helped out with some less fortunate families and got to have a couple kids from Life Skills come over and have Thanksgiving with our family. And it was nice to do that and visit them at their day hab facility. We enjoyed having them in our home. I went to the tree lighting ceremony, and we attended some of the shop local events throughout downtown, and just want to encourage everyone through the holiday season to help out the local area vendors and people that put a lot of hard work into putting these stores together. And last but not least, want to commend the action that was taken by the Rock Springs High School and everyone today with the event that happened out there that wasn't as serious as it appeared to be, but everyone was in the right place at the right time and took care of that.
Very good. Thank you. Councillor Bingham.
Thank you, Mayor. Had a productive 2 weeks since the last City Council meeting. On November 20th, I attended a meeting to discuss the FEA report on the Civic Center, which we just discussed at our workshop. On November 25th, I attended a combined communication meeting. Overall, there was a good meeting and discussion for the upcoming year. According to the contract resolution, we will hear an update and report from them, so I look forward to additional information as we move forward, especially into the budget year. Next, I spent previous weeks discussing the fees with both constituents and the Recreation Department head. Appreciate the time that was taken on the report and analysis of our fees, and I look forward to the discussion tonight as we decide on the direction of the fees with our rec centers. Finally, I've been communicating to my constituents that I would like to use my experience at the county to evaluate our ordinances where we could possibly streamline and encourage development in our city and bring those forward to our city for consideration. And thank you, Your Honor. Appreciate it.
Very good. Thank you, Councillor Bingham. Councillor Malonis.
Thank you, Your Honor. Let's see, I've talked to several people about all the rec fees and costs. I had a meeting with Old Timer Civic Center. We went over some ideas and a path forward. Several nuisance issues I've talked about. I attended the Climb anniversary. That was really interesting for the single women, that whole program. They do different semesters, and then the next semester will be the truck driver part. I always think that's pretty cool that the girls learn how to drive trucks. And then I looked through the audit that we passed with flying colors. You can always count on Matt to make sure that's correct. And then I looked through the assessment for the Civic Center, studied all that. I also watched a podcast with Wyoming Business Council, Josh Durrell, talked about economic development, the GDP, the state budget that's twice as big that it was 5 years ago. They talked about surveys, they talked about polls, sample sizes, the way the questions are worded. And then we also had another OTCC meeting, but it was with the construction committee, and it was about the report. You know, there was questions about why we got rid of the recreation board, and there was also discussions about the fees, and that's what we're going to be talking about tonight. So, thank you.
Thank you. Councilor Zadi?
I attended the meeting we had on the FEA report when it came out, and addressed several concerns and questions from residents basically on the fee structure for the Parks and Rec Department that we're going to be addressing, as well as questions on where we were with the FEA and when we'd be addressing that. So we were able to get a presentation done today for that. Other than that, with holiday and everything, I was out of town for a good part of last week, so that's kind of what I got to.
Very good. Thank you, sir. Councilor Hanson?
Thank you, Your Honor. To start off, I guess, I had a lot of people contacting me regarding the rec fees and stuff like that. I've done a lot of looking into it, talking to people and seeing what I can come up with and see what we can work out. I had several graffiti issues this last couple of weeks that I've been trying to work on and mitigate. The FEA presentation that was given prior to the city council meeting was certainly eye-opening as far as the dollar amount to renovate and to continue work with the Civic Center, which is scaring me as far as the budget goes for next year and what we're the challenges we're gonna have before us on that stuff. Along those same lines, I was down and visited with the animal control people. They have currently right now 84 animals that they're responsible for in that little building behind Albertsons. They've got over 50 cats and dogs there, and they were pretty happy that they were down as far as their census of number of animals and stuff. So with the holidays coming and cold weather and everything else, I think I would like to see us take a close look at what we can do, as well as with the Civic Center and some of the other things that were major problems or major financial burdens for the city, not burdens, but financial commitments to the city, that animal control, see if they can get addressed for some of it in the future as far as the budget goes somehow, some way.
Very good. Thank you. Councilor Hickerson?
Yeah, this last 2 weeks, I did attend the OTCC building. They discussed that their 50C3 is a go. Answered some questions about the upcoming FEA report. They had a couple more questions about maintenance. Had a gentleman come in and reiterate that there is a QPR training, which is question, persuade, refer for suicide help, on December 10th at Western Wyoming from 5 to 7. I listened in on the insurance committee meeting. They're having some fun stuff with their HSA and their health equity. They're moving it to Rocky Mountain Reserve. Bunch of stuff that's way beyond my knowledge. And then attended a joint powers telecom board meeting where we discussed getting rid of old paperwork and other minutia. Outside of that, I enjoyed Thanksgiving.
Very good. Thank you, sir. Councilor Thompson?
Thank you, Your Honor. A lot of mine mirrors same as Jeannie because we go to the same stuff. So went to the Climb Wyoming commencement. They had, I believe, 8 women that completed this. I mean, that's always incredible to see what they've gone through to pull their lives together. On the 20th, I went with the fire chief to Cheyenne for the firefighter class 25-2 graduation in Cheyenne. They had it at the Capitol it was the same room that we had the WAM question and answer with the slip board. They had, I believe like 13 graduates, and that was incredible. Everybody's their Class A's, and that was a long day, so I did miss the Festival of Trees. 24th, attended the Combined Communications meeting out at the jail with Jeannie. She's on board. I'm a liaison to that. On 25th, we had the dispatch meeting in your office, Mayor, with the executive director and the IT director and the commissioners. That just kind of start thinking about everybody else's budgets is being cut. We need to look at them and see if we can lower costs there. It was pretty contentious at the very beginning, but I think we got out. We didn't solve any problems, but we had figured out we've got some issues we need to look at. And last thing, the 29th, Christmas in the park, the lighting ceremony, that was incredible. I figured well over 1,000 people there. Went off without a hitch. Lights came on, although except for when I walked around the side and tripped over a cord and took down one of the speakers right in the middle of a song. So the guy was more concerned about me than he was about his equipment. So that was pretty good. That's all I've got, sir.
Okay. So over the last 2 weeks, I was able to attend the National League of Cities Conference was held in Salt Lake City this year. And there was I think we had something like 27 people from different communities in Wyoming who were able to attend that. And it was a really wonderful experience and opportunity and provided a lot of perspectives and information that hopefully will be beneficial to us here in Rock Springs. I did call the meeting with Combined Communications and Commissioners Richards and Tolman to discuss the sort of costs that are associated with providing that service and how we can maybe work together better to bring those costs down. I met with a representative from Enbridge to ensure that all was well and that there weren't any concerns with right-of-ways. The Christmas in the Park down at Bunning Park is absolutely stunning. The Parks and Rec Department really did an amazing job, not only of making sure that it is beautiful, but of mitigating the squirrel activity because they like to chew on the cords. So that it will be an ongoing battle. And I was very grateful to the members of City Council who were able to come. Today, I attended the County Commissioners meeting. They had an agenda item discussing an extension or a renewal of the specific purpose tax, and I went to express my opposition to that we made an agreement with the voters that it would sunset and they could see the work that was completed under that ballot initiative, and that I did not think it was appropriate to pursue extending it. I've met with quite a few constituents to discuss concerns, and happily we are able to resolve them and are working on some changes that will resolve the rest if all goes well. December 11th is the Chamber of Commerce monthly luncheon, except for in December they do a dinner at the Santa Fe. I don't know if, how many of y'all attend that, but it is a really great opportunity to visit with business leaders in our community. And then Rick Lee just today emailed me. He had an email from Christina George from PBS talking about how absolutely amazing our community is and how wonderful it was to see the support and the turnout for Afar and Below. And then, of course, this Saturday at 5:30, prompt on the dot, the Christmas parade from the Chamber of Commerce will be happening downtown. So we look forward to seeing everyone there and watching me try to drive that big red fire truck and not squish Jeannie. So that concludes my update, which takes us to the consent agenda. First up, we have the City Council meeting minutes of November 18th, 2025, the Joint Powers Telecom Board meeting minutes of October 16th, 2025, the Joint Powers Combined Communications Board meeting minutes of October 27th, 2025, and then in correspondence, we have the 2025 Climb Wyoming Progress Report, a thank you note from the Chamber of Commerce and a thank you note from Rock Springs High School. Council, do we have a motion?
Your Honor,
Councilor Bingham.
move to approve consent agenda.
Thank you. Do we have a second? Thank you, Councilor Zadi. All those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstaining? The motion carries unanimously, which brings us to petitions and public comment. And first up, we have Tim Savage.
I should have sat down here. Councilor Hintz, are you able to hear?
Yeah.
You're very soft-spoken, or the acoustics aren't great. Can you hear me okay?
Yep.
All right. Well, I appreciate everybody that got back to me, and most of you did. My concern was about the fees at the Civic Center and how we're switching it around and everything and making it much more complicated than it probably needs to be. And just from the different comments from you guys, I think all of you have a different perspective on what's going on. Some people thought that you're lowering the prices because you want to attract more people to come, which makes sense. Some people think you're lowering the prices so more people will come, or so that, but then you're worried about the revenue if they don't come. And but nobody could really explain why seniors and classes, their expenses are going up 300 to 600%. And then for others, it's going down 10, 20, 30%. So I just didn't understand the disconnect of why classes are so much more expensive than, say, using the lazy river or the pool or the ice arena or anything else. So that was my concern, is I didn't understand why that was. And then the little question, that's kind of a big question, is what is the best way to get for people to contact you? I have had more luck with texting than email. Do you guys don't
I
email
use-
anymore? or
Check
how's
my
that
email
go?
daily.
I use both, so don't matter.
Well, you didn't get back
I
to
know
me.
I didn't because
Either my
I,
email or my text. So I was just wondering, because
Yeah,
some
texting.
people don't like email, and I know a lot of people don't do voicemail. Some people just do social media. So just not for me, but for everybody, it'd be good to know what you prefer. So, does anybody? I guess that's all I've got. Does that make any sense?
Council, do you have any questions or comments for Mr. Savage?
Your Honor.
Councilor
On some of,
Dawson.
we talk back and forth.
Yeah.
On some of them, if we get an email and it goes out to all of us, and if 2 or 3 respond, I'm not going to pile on.
Right,
So,
right.
but I am reading them, and so it's not like I'm ignoring them. But if someone else is responding, and
We don't have to pile on, but you can just thumbs up or thanks. Or thumbs down or
I can do that
block.
just to let you know that I did.
Yeah. No, you're fine.
Read receipt. Okay.
Yeah, okay. But that was just my concern, was it, how some things are going up, some things are going down, and then just the complex, there must be 50 different ways to pay now,
Your Honor?
Councilor Zadi?
Is that, I guess, comment on, okay, I think the whole idea behind the fee structure and the single or combined facility in that is to try and drive membership, grow membership. When we look at revenues for the Civic and Rec Center, they've gone down since 10 years ago, and we haven't recovered. I think the Civic Center is close to recovering as far as revenue, and it's less than $200,000 a year. Rec Center still hasn't recovered from those. And a combination of that is, we have CrossFit, we have Planet Fitness, and a lot of other things that came in that offer services. If we start to increase those memberships too much, we're going to lose members. So I think the thought behind the structure we're doing now is to try and drive membership. Now the fees, you talk about the lazy river and that. So the way I look at it is on the fee membership, You go, you get the facility, you get access to the facility, to use the lazy river, to use the basketball court, to use the weight room, cardio, whatever you want. The reason for the charge for classes is you're typically getting somebody there to help instruct. For swimming, you're getting instructors, we've got lifeguards, things like that. So there's services that are provided that aren't necessarily there for the person who's going just to shoot some hoops at the basketball court. One thing I have, and I kind of take issue with, is when we look at the issues we have at the Civic Center and Rec Center, and we look at the, come on, computer.
So did you say that there's going to be a fee for the pool?
For swimming, swim lessons.
Oh, swim lessons, right. But if you swim laps, you still have to have a lifeguard. There's still a,
Well, do you want us to charge fees for that too, though? I mean, they already want us to go, but there's
I'm
so
trying
there's
to
these
see
things.
how is it equitable? If you have an instructor, you have to pay the instructor, so that's why you have to charge a fee.
Yeah.
But if you swim, you have to have a lifeguard. If you ice skate, you have to have an employee there, right? I don't see. I see.
Mr.
a
Savage,
disconnect.
we also have to have somebody at the front desk to let you in. Like there's a baseline to access the building in terms of staffing levels. A instructor-led class is specific to the people going to that class. So the thought process is that by charging what is a nominal fee, we are asking people to have some buy-in that, yeah, this costs the city extra to provide that service. And in lowering the monthly rate, the hope is, because when we increased the monthly rate, we lost a significant number of patrons. If we lower it, then people will see more value in it and use the facility. And then if they want swimming lessons or to take a class, they're paying a nominal fee. And if you look at other rec centers in the state, Cody, they have an exercise class Monday and Wednesday one class at a set time. It's 45 minutes long, and it's $48 a month just to take that class. And so the thought process was, well, let's ask them to pay something because they're getting a specific service. And we are increasing like the ice usage fees for groups because that is a very expensive service that the city provides. And historically, we didn't charge for that, and we are going to be charging them going forward on a per hour basis because they're utilizing that resource, not public skate, right, but specific just to that group. And it's the same with a class. The only people using that class are the people attending the class. And so that was the thought process, as a way to hopefully increase usage, but also say, hey, like these services cost above and beyond operating the facility, so we're asking you to contribute. Does that make?
Sure. It isn't nominal. That kind of bothers me. $2 a class, but it's also $240 a year. So for Dorothy and I, we're going from, oh, you want to say something?
Oh, you go ahead.
So we're going from $220 a year to $720. That's the nominal, what you're calling a nominal charge.
I mean, the
See, but right?
No, because
You can
it's,
say it's a charge, but you can't really say it's nominal.
I mean, I can, because it's a specific service.
Not math. The math doesn't work.
So, I mean, that's a difference of opinion about what is nominal. So I guess my question to you is, what value do you place on that class?
Well, what value do you place on the class? Because the instructors are the lowest paid city employees. And they have not had raises in, I think it was 15 years. So they're the lowest paid employees, but you've got to subsidize them. That's not right.
So do we raise fees beyond the $2 to pay them more?
Why don't you just raise the fee across the board? People are willing to
Because-
pay more.
Because he wants more people to come, except for the classes, he wants fewer people to come.
Yeah, I mean,
No.
Let's
I
not,
mean, if someone is gonna have to
Well,
pay,
it's a circular logic. You want to lower the prices so more people come, but then we're going to go from 220 to 720, so you don't want us to come.
yeah.
no, I'm asking you, and you've not answered, what is the value that you place on, if the value that you place on the class is 0, that you're not willing to contribute to it, that's a pretty low value.
We're willing to contribute to it. There's a lot of people who can't. They're on a
Well,
fixed
and as a part of
income.
our proposed fee schedule, if you fall into that category,
SNAP.
Well, yeah.
then there is not a charge.
What if you're
because-
not on SNAP and you just have a fixed
My 5
income?
minutes are up. And you didn't sign up.
I didn't, but
Your Honor, I want to thank you very much for coming down and speaking today, and both you guys sending your emails and text messages. So just real quick, do you have a solution that you'd like to throw out here for us?
Well, I think you either have fees for everything or fees for nothing. I think, I don't know how, I don't see the circular, to me, you're having a circular logic. You want to lower fees so more people come, but then you want to raise other fees so more people come. I don't.
So you think just raising everything across the board, 15%
Well, but
or
he's saying that
whatever?
if they raise the fees, even fewer people come, but things have changed, so it's hard to say.
Okay.
everybody I've talked to in Silver Sneakers has said they would gladly pay more for their monthly, yearly fee.
So if it's $12 a month for a senior, and we raise it to $30 a month,
You have to raise it $30 to pay for,
$30 a month would be $360 a year instead of $220.
why would you have to raise it that much?
well, so what is it, $1 a month? Like that's kind of my question, because
Well, we don't know how much it costs to operate I mean, that's something JJ would have to come up with.
we're proposing $20 a month for unlimited classes,
Right.
or you can do a punch card. So $10 a month?
Can't we have $20 for classes and we don't have to pay the annual fee or the monthly fee if the only thing we're doing is classes?
Yeah, that's true. A lot of people don't, that's all they do.
That's all they do. So why should we have to pay an entrance fee?
When the buildings were designed, there's no way to control where people go. And that is something we've explored for after hours use for the ice arena, for the basketball courts, for lots of things, but without major structural revisions.
Who's gonna police? I mean, I could walk into the Civic Center now, or if you implement the $2 per class, I could say, I'm just gonna go upstairs and walk on the treadmill, go down the ramp and go into Silver Sneakers and never pay.
Happily, that's something that staff has worked out and how they would implement it and
You're
take
gonna
care of
have
that.
30 people at the front desk trying to get their card punched for their class.
I mean,
You are really putting a lot of responsibility and more work on your front desk.
Honey, we explained it to him.
Yeah, that's-
Your Honor.
He's not going to change it.
Yes, sir.
One thing, we've proven historically that raising the price on everybody reduces membership, correct? You were a councilman at the time, Tim.
That's why.
Your reduced
Fitness-
membership, raising it across the board reduced membership, right?
That's why
So
Planet Fitness gave.
what they're trying now, and we have people who specialize in this and we were professionals in this that we're trying to lean on and trust, i.e. JJ, to say, okay, what is the best way to make as many people happy as we possibly can? Sure, we're not going to make everybody happy. Stupid to think we could, right? But if you go to places, Casper's a perfect example. You want to do a class, great. You can get 10 classes for $65. No fee. Does that sound fair to you? If you do 30 classes a month, that's $180 a month. Sounds a little more than
Yeah.
what we're proposing, right? That's not to use any of the other services. Okay? If you're a member, it drops down to $650 a class. If you just do a drop-in class, it's $7 in Casper. And Cody, it's $11 just to get access to the Civic Center or to the Rec Center, okay? On top of that, I got my numbers. It is $10 if you're not a member to attend a daily class.
Well, I would
It
say
is
that,
$7 for a drop-in, not if you get a punch card, for a drop-in in order to attend a class.
Counselor,
So we're trying to find a happy medium
right.
to make as many people happy as we can, understanding that some people are going to be upset, and understanding that this way we're taking a little bit of a risk, saying some of our elderly are going to have to look at using our free services portion of it in order to achieve their physical fitness goals. Does that put it in any perspective?
Yeah.
well, for one thing, I think the people,
Hey, this is my time.
the people in Cody, I think, have higher incomes than we do here.
Yeah, well, that's what I was gonna ask you, Counselor. Why are you quoting Cody?
Well,
Why
I'm
not
comparing it
Rollins
to
or
other,
Rock Spring
okay,
or
Casper's,
Evanston?
or-
Casper's within a couple $1,000s of ours, still $180 a month just to attend classes. That's with your discounted punch card.
Okay, well, asked and answered.
Thank you.
And you are going to lose membership.
I'm
I mean,
sure.
people aren't going to just use the free services. If they can't take the classes, they're going to go to Planet
Thank you.
Fitness.
Jack?
In the sense of continuity, I believe there's other people that want to speak about this specific item, and they're welcome to go first, unless you prefer that.
Nope. That's absolutely fine. That's your pleasure. Thank you. Jackie?
I'd like to clarify one thing, the $20 unlimited class. Who said that? So, because that wasn't on the schedule. Because you had it as, oh, right here. The punch
Ma'am,
card
ma'am,
was-
can you come to the podium so that the mic can pick you up?
The punch card says 10 classes for $15. But you just said $20 for unlimited?
So let me clarify a few things.
Okay.
So first, if somebody was to come in and pay $2 for a class and they're gonna do 3 classes, the $2 is going to be for the full class. Like was mentioned, we are gonna have some tracking challenges that are gonna go along with this. As far as the punch card goes, we're trying to find something that's gonna work for multiple demographics here. Not everyone wants to go to classes 5 days a week, some do. Some go to one class every month. Some go to 2 or 3 classes interspersed. And with regard to that, yeah, we did add in that membership post the initial, but in the fees that you're approving, I believe that is in there. It was the last one that we added. So there is a monthly that is there that's set at $20 right
Oh,
now.
unlimited.
Which would be an unlimited class, yes.
Okay. Much better. Okay.
Your Honor? Oh, I'm sorry.
So-
I'm sorry. I thought you.
So I'm Jackie Wells. I'm a senior, if you can't tell. And I use the Civic Center, and I am one of those that use it just about every day. So with that $10, that's why I was clarifying, if you got the $20 unlimited, that's a big deal. I think, the biggest thing and Tim kind of brought it up, but separating the membership and the class fees. One thing, I have Humana insurance, so they will pay for my membership. I called them to clarify. They said they will only pay the membership, but they said most people, if they advertise that they have silver sneakers, that's included in their membership. You do advertise for that. But if they don't, then the class fees are out of pocket. Now, that out of pocket, that drops a lot when you do the $20 unlimited. And then it was brought up about when we do have a punch card, if you know the numbers, and Eric, you went to class, you see how many people we have?
Yes.
So that is the concern of a lot of the people going in, that we're going to have our class, and sometimes our class, and I think that day you were there was over 40 people.
Yes.
You also have the swimming water aerobics at the same time. They have 10 maybe 10 to 15 people. And so you're going to have all of them coming in at the same time for a punch card. So that was a concern of, and everybody comes at the last minute. For the 9 o'clock class, they're going to show up at 1 minute to 9 or 5 minutes after 9. And so maybe they'll start showing up earlier though. But that was a huge concern, is the congestion and the confusion of the punch card and having the membership fee. One other concern is separating the facilities. You know, a lot of people feel we're all Rock Springs people. Why do we have to choose between in what facility we want to use? And I know you have it combined, but there again is the confusion of, you know, now what facility am I going to use? Am I going to use both of them? We talk about, so Councilman Hickerson, you came to one of the OTCC meetings, and you did say that these fees are just bringing us up to par with other towns in the state. You keep talking Cody and Casper. We do have other towns in Wyoming. And I think I sent you all a text. Nobody responded. And so the only ones in the state that do charge for classes is Cody and Casper. It's interesting with Gillette. They charge nothing for seniors. They get to use the facility free, but then they have to pay for their class. So that has a $24 monthly fee for unlimited classes. So they do charge for class, but they didn't charge for any membership fees. All the rest, when you contact Evanston, Rollins, Laramie, Pinedale, they're all pretty consistent. $24 a month, $25 a month. Now, I don't know what classes they offer either. But when you say that you're bringing it up to par, don't just bring up Casper and Cody. Look at the whole state. Another thing is you guys talk about the benefits of Silver Sneakers. We're not just old people that have nothing to do that want to go in there. We're doing that to stay moving, and also it's their social support. We have a lot of people, you know, that have gone through cancer, and there's a lot of, that's their you know, it's just a camaraderie. It's also their way of getting out of the house. You know, I don't know how about your parents and that, but when you get old, it's hard to get out of the house. Your kids don't call you, they don't visit. And so that's your way of getting social. And so that is, think about Silver Sneakers. It's not just an exercise class. It is important. I think you went to it, Eric. You saw the people. They're all talking, don't they? You can't get them to stop talking before or after.
Yep.
And they do exercise in between. But I think you have to realize, please, us old people, I hear attitudes like, what's the value of it? Go to the class and maybe you can see. Let's see. And I think it was brought up. We all understand we need money to run this place. So we don't mind, having it raises, but make it easier. I look at this and I think of JJ and Ariel and Robin. This had to have been just terrible to put together, and they're trying to make everybody happy, and then also for us to make money to have these places run. So we do understand. Let's try to make it simple, and please don't think of Silver Sneakers as just a bunch of old people. I do have numbers. I got these from the Civic Center from Anne Marie. So just for August, 399, this is just Silver Sneakers, 399 people attended Silver Sneaker classes. So, and then September, 482. In October, 487. And as this month is even going to be more because now people aren't golfing. So that does take it down. As soon as golf starts, then you can see each month it's going up. So we do have the numbers. So just respect the instructors, respect the people. And you have a lot of good employees at the Civic Center. I'm not sure about the rec center. But they try their hardest, honest. I just don't go to the rec center, that's why I said that.
Yeah.
You know, they try their hardest to make everybody happy too. But don't burden them either with the punch card. I am glad to hear about the $20 unlimited though. That's all I gotta say.
Council?
Your Honor?
Councilor Zadi.
I just wanted to point out, the comment was made of why we're comparing Cody, the income's higher and whatnot. According to the Wyoming Business Council, Rock Springs median income is $75,864. Cody is $75,808. Casper is $71,197. Cheyenne is $79,438. So, I mean, to look at that, it doesn't wash there. The other thing that I find difficult is that we're looking at right now a study that, you know, in 5 years, we're needing to spend, just for one facility, let's see, where is that? Let's see, well, in the first 3 years, 7.2 million. 5 years, 8 million. When we look at, I'm having some issues with my computer, sorry. What income, let's take the Civic Center, when we're looking at that $8 million. In 2025, the actual income from the Civic Center is $193,918. Expenses were $1.35 million. Rec Center, $477,000. Expenses, $3.1 million. So we got to make up for this somewhere. We got to be able to pay for these repairs if we want to keep these facilities open and operational. You know, I hear time and time again, we're willing to pay more to do this and allow for this, but when we put a proposal together, we get, I'm not going to pay more. And that, so we need, someone has a better idea, please present it. Because we're trying our best here and going by who we rely on in JJ and his knowledge and everything and what his education has told him and how to do these and work these. And really the goal is to try our best to increase membership and drive membership. And that's what we want to do. You know, comments over the years have been, why do I have to pay so much? I only use the rec center. I only use the Civic Center. Why do I have to pay to use both? Why don't you give us a discount for it? That's what we're trying to do here, is kind of accommodate some of those requests that hopefully, hey, it's a couple $100 less to do the rec center. Great, I'll do a membership now, or the Civic Center, whichever. That's what we're trying to do, is drive membership, increase our revenue so we can start paying for a lot of this stuff that we have coming up. Because right now, I don't know how we're going to afford the $8 million. And that's just one facility. We've got the rec center, who has another $6 or $7 million. We've got the golf course with the Wataha ballpark, who's millions of dollars that we need. So, you know, we're looking at one facility. We got to look at the city as a whole as far as council goes, and that's where our concern is. So I don't know really what the answer is, other than
if you could just make it easier with a flat rate. Like I say, that does affect the insurance, but it does make it more confusing too. But then I understand. Yeah, I understand.
It's tough.
And ma'am, I wasn't suggesting that the silver sneakers don't have value. I was asking what was the value that the speaker
A big
put
value.
on it.
Come and see.
Yeah, and so it is, yes, so thank you. Yes, ma'am.
tough act to follow. That are ducks in a row. My name is Tammy Morlock, for those of you guys that do not know me. I'm going to start off with thank you. Your job is not easy. I've been around for a long time, and I've been watching this for a long time. We moved to Rock Springs when I was about, 2 or 3 years old, when the Civic Center was used for boxing matches. I don't think any of you guys in here remember that. That tells you how old I am, right? I've been working at the rec center, Civic Center and rec center, I don't even know how many years. Part of the problem, I believe, for the lack of people that come into the rec center, I'm going to go back to the days when the city actually paid for the instructors to go off and be trained. We would come back, we'd be all jazzed, we'd advertise these classes, and they'd be jammed in. We had fresh new ideas, we had all kinds of new stuff, and it was great. And it was before COVID that classes started declining. For myself, I know that I was so inspired by everything. I went back to school. I received my associates in health sciences, emphasis in exercise. I've just been pumped about it. I've learned a lot about health sciences and exercise. I ended up being one of the instructors that I'd go off and get some of my training on my own and pay for it myself, a lot of it. Some did, some didn't, and as time went on in Rock Springs, Wyoming, we have seen an influx. We've got Planet Fitness. We've got 2 very successful CrossFit gyms, highly addictive. Stay away from them, right? No, I go to one, and I love it. I'm addicted. And I'm also addicted to my rec center and my people that I am so fortunate to teach. I have heard recently from my patrons, and from what I do for a living, I have patrons from the Civic Center come in and the Rec Center, and I've heard all their concerns. You guys have enlightened me tonight. I didn't know some of it. Mr. Hickerson, you said that if you raise all the fees that you know for a fact statistically that the patrons will decline?
Correct.
Can I ask where that came from? I'm just floored that that is a fact.
From, I can't remember the last time you guys did a rate increase. It was before I was here.
2017 was the last time we did it.
And they could just do the annual numbers and they saw a big decrease.
Okay, and does Planet Fitness and all the other places that come into Rock Springs, does that come into a factor of all that? Or
I think
is
back then
that
we had
something that
24-hour
happens?
fitness in the mall, and that might have played a little bit of a role in it, but
I'm wondering if it happened everywhere, or is it just been the numbers are coming from Rock Springs? I'm just fascinated by that thought. When you said that, I'm like, oh my gosh, because what I'm getting from my patrons and from the people is that we're spoiled. How much it costs to get into the Rec Center, Civic Center is so low. And repeating what Jackie said is what I'm getting from everybody is they're willing to pay more money to get in because it's been so low for so long. And I haven't kept up with it. Honestly, I've not kept up with it. But that's what I've gotten from everybody. And people that are having to pay extra for the extra classes, I heard the number today of $420 extra a year. It's just a thought. So here's my passion. I've read an awful lot as I age of how to age successfully. And you guys, it's move it or lose it. And my heart goes to our older generation. And I can tell you, as I've gotten older, I look around. I don't want to tell people how old I am. I don't want to tell people what all I do, because I'm looking at them going, and they're aging because they're choosing not to do anything. So now we've got this population, huge population. I'm going to give credit to I'm going to cry. Tammy Washington has got this fabulous class at the Civic Center, and I've got people that have come into my office, levitated off the damn table, going, they damn well better not get rid of Tammy Washington's class, and that's a fact because they love her. She is raking it in over there. The Rec Center did not want to take on Silver Snickers, and that woman back there has done it successfully. She's got people that are not aging. They're coming for several reasons. They're getting fit. They're working out. It is a social aspect. And again, my passion and my heart is with as people age. And you can take a look around your world, whether it be your parents or your friends, if they're not moving. And I want to see this to be a success. I don't have all the answers, but I was here once upon a time where they put together a board, and I would like for you to think about that possibility and include some of your seniors, people that have got their ducks in a row and make it calls. Those are my thoughts processes. I don't have the answers, but I think I've got some thoughts on how to get there. And again, I'm going to repeat this. Everybody that I've talked to says, raise your fees. And think about what we're doing. I want to have so much respect for our elders as we get older. I just want to make space for them and create that avenue for them. I think it's so important. Thank you guys so much for your time. I really do appreciate each and every one of you. I know your job's not easy. Thank you for your time. And you don't have not a word to say to me right now. Thank you.
Thank you. Jack, if you would.
Good evening. Mayor, council members, thanks for allowing me to speak to you this evening. You guys have a lot of thorny problems staring you in the face here. And as a bystander, what I heard most people say, raise the fees, but keep it simple. That's what I heard. So I'm going to speak on a different subject tonight. And going against my grain, I'm just going to read a statement. This statement was prepared by members of the Old Timer Civic Center group. So it's time to develop a formal relationship between the city and Old Timer Civic Center. It's time to develop a formal relationship. This relationship will aid in the timely and effective communication of ideas relating to the operation, repair, and sustainability of the Civic Center. OTCC would like to schedule a workshop in January to help develop this relationship and to brainstorm ideas that were outlined in the FEA report on the final 2 pages. The workshop invitees would include the City Council Building Committee members, select Parks and Recreation staff, and for this initial meeting, the OTCC board members. That's the end of the statement, guys. Do you have any questions?
Council? Okay.
Very good. Thank you.
Thank you for your comment. And that closes petitions and public comments and takes us to bills and claims. First up, we have the Rock Springs Housing Authority bills and claims for December 2nd, 2025. Council, do we have a motion?
Your Honor,
Councilor Demas?
I make a motion to approve Rock Springs Housing Authority bills and claims for December 2nd, 2025.
Thank you. Do we have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Councilor Zadi. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstaining?
Abstaining.
Abstaining.
Okay, the motion carries with Councilors Thompson and Pedri abstaining. Which takes us to the bills and claims for December 2nd, 2025. Council, do we have a motion?
Your Honor,
Councilor Demas?
I make a motion to approve the bills and claims for December 2nd, 2025.
Thank you. Do we have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Councilor Zadi. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstaining? Okay, the motion carries unanimously, taking us to the salaries for November 21st, 2025. Do we have a motion?
Your Honor,
Councilor Demas?
I make a motion to approve the salaries for November 21st, 2025.
Thank you. Do we have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Counselor Hickerson. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstaining?
Abstaining.
Okay, the motion carries with Counselor Thompson abstaining. That takes us to resolutions, and first up, we have 2025-144.
A resolution accepting and approving the contract between the City of Rock Springs, Wyoming and DeBernardi Construction Company, Inc. in the amount of $683,000 and authorizing Max Mickelson as mayor and Matthew L. McBurnett as city clerk to execute said contract on behalf of the City of Rock Springs.
Thank you. Council, do we have a motion?
Your Honor.
Counselor Hickerson.
Move to approve Resolution 2025-144.
Thank you. Do we have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Counselor Pedri. Discussion.
Your Honor.
Counselor Bingham.
Just they do a fantastic job, this whole program, so appreciate what they do.
Very good. Any further discussion? Yep. Okay. Hearing no further discussion, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstaining?
Abstain.
Okay, the motion carries with Counselor Zadi abstaining, which brings us to Resolution 2025-145.
A resolution accepting and approving a contract between the City of Rock Springs, Wyoming and Aspen Construction in the amount of $2,885,974.86 and authorizing Max Mickelson as mayor and Matthew L. McBurnett as city clerk to execute said contract on behalf of the City of Rock Springs.
Thank you. Council, do we have a motion?
Your Honor,
Counselor Demas.
I make a motion to approve Resolution 2025-145.
Thank you. Do we have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Counselor Pedri. Is there discussion?
Your Honor,
Counselor Hanson.
I'd like to ask Paul, how does that take a page out of one of my cohorts' book here, and how does that set up against the engineer's bids?
Your Honor, Counselor, it's approximately $300,000 underneath the engineer's estimate.
Love it when I hear that.
Not quite 300,000, but.
Thank you.
Very good. Is there further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstaining? Motion carries unanimously, bringing us to Resolution 2025-146.
A resolution accepting and approving a lease rate quote for the lease of city vehicles between Unified Fleet Services and the City of Rock Springs, Wyoming, and authorizing Max Mickelson as mayor and Matthew L. McBurnett as city clerk to execute said contract on behalf of the City of Rock Springs.
Thank you. Council, do we have a motion?
Your Honor,
Counselor Thompson.
I move to approve Resolution 2025-146.
Thank you. Do we have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Counselor Hanson. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstaining? The motion carries unanimously, taking us to Resolution 2025-147.
A resolution of the City of Rock Springs, Wyoming, accepting and approving fee guidelines for the Parks and Recreation Department.
Thank you. Council, do we have a motion?
Your Honor.
Counselor PG?
Move to approve Resolution 2025-147.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Counselor Bingham. Discussion.
Your Honor.
Counselor Melonis.
You know, Councilman Hickerson says you can't make everybody happy, but everybody I've seen, they're very unhappy about these fees because I haven't found one person yet that's happy about it. And we're not going to solve a multi-million-dollar problem with $3 entry fees, let me tell you. So I just don't think it's a good idea. It's upsetting a lot of people. I'd like to see us revisit it, table it and revisit it, come up with a better solution. We could get some people happy because these people aren't going to be happy. But that's just me. Thank you.
You're welcome. Further discussion?
Your Honor.
Counselor.
I will say during the OTCC meeting I attended, with their status as a 501c3, they were looking at potential grants to help pay for instructors to help those who are less fortunate get into them classes for free as well, just to give them guys a shout out.
Very good. Thank you. Further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
No.
Abstaining. The motion carries with Councilor Malonis voting no, which takes us to Resolution 2025-148.
A resolution accepting and approving a revised City of Rock Springs schedule of fees for the Civic Center.
Do we have a motion?
Your Honor,
Councilor Hickerson?
move to approve Resolution 2025-148.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Councilor Thompson. Is there discussion?
Your Honor.
Councilor Zadi.
No, I do have, and I know I discussed this with you, I discussed it with JJ and a few others. I do have reservations on the split facility fees, doing combine or split, just because I worry that, basic economics will tell you, you raise the price on something, you're going to get fewer people to buy it. You lower the price, you're going to get more people to buy in. Now it's just finding that sweet spot to where it makes sense. So my concern is if we lower the rates, because I don't have any studies on this or anything, but my heart tells me, my gut tells me that more people use one single facility than they do both. And so we're going to get a flood of people buying for a single facility rather than the two. With that's going to come a loss in revenue if we don't increase our membership. So looking at economics, if we lower the price, we hopefully will see an increase in membership, help offset that, and maybe even do better. With that, that's been the one thing that's really stuck in my mind with this whole fee process. I'm willing to give it a chance. This isn't something that's set in stone. It's something that can be changed. And if we can do a review in maybe 6 months and see what memberships have looked like, especially when we're running into a busy time of year with January, February, March being kind of the high usage months.
Yeah, Your Honor, Council Zadi. So in what we just approved there, have the fee guidelines that specify that we want to come back to this every year.
Yeah.
So we kind of have a continuous look at where we feel like, if we've feed a group wrong or we've overstepped or we're seeing some detriment, we don't want to keep going down that track with blinders on. And if it's in the interest of seeing how this goes over 6 months, whether it's with the split fees or any of these fees, I think that at any time we can revise. And hopefully you did notice that in my fee guidelines, I did ask for council's permission, since you just gave it, to be able to have the authority to, without bringing a formal request up, because classes come and go, programs come and go, and a lot of times we're not going to be able to come to you guys for every little class or sport or whatever that we come up with. Ariel's come up with 5 new programs in the last 4 months. Coming up with fees with these and putting in front of you is just going to bog everything down. So if we see some of this, yes, some of this obviously needs to come to council, and I would refer to our attorney and the mayor for that. But yeah, this is where I was trying to build within these guidelines is a latitude to stop, if we're finding out that something is severely lost, then we want to adjust it quicker than waiting for a meeting. On the other hand, if we're talking about, going from a split fee situation to a combined fee and we want to revise all that, yeah, you would need to definitely we would need to come back together again and speak on it. So absolutely, if it's 6 months is the look and we want to set up a report that says this is how our first 6 months did. But I would suggest that with the change and even with promotion, I don't know that 6 months is going to be the look that we need, Yeah. But certainly we should review at 6 months for sure.
And one other thing I was remiss to, bring up on the last one, but on the fees, there's concern of the confusion in that and bottlenecks at the front desk. Do you really see that as a concern? I know when you go in, you swipe your card, there's a line to swipe your card and get in. I don't see what the big difference is going to be with having a punch card or.
Some of this are some of the confines that we have with our operating system up front, and some of them can be alleviated with, offsetting classes. Some of them are going to be done by audits on how many are in. So yeah, if we find out that we have 10 people paying to go into a class and 30 people are going in, then yes, at that point, we're going to have to create, a system in which we can come back and see that, which, like I said, could jeopardize a class. So I don't think class members want to do that. But on the other hand, yes, we don't have a great way, but from other facilities that do this, yes, it's a check-in and what are you going to do? And then that's how they're feed out. Now for memberships or punch cards, yes, we're going to have to go into, as it's been shown here, our instructors do a lot already, and having them audit this process could be tough. So there's certainly going to be some learning curve and making sure that we can apply how these fees work with classes.
Well, and that's, I think, the most important point, at least for me, of all of this, is that none of this is a Mount Rushmore, right? It's not carved in granite. And it is about trying something different and seeing how it goes. And if it falls flat on its face, then we adjust. If it goes really well, then we learn something great. In moving through that process and giving JJ and his people the ability to make some of those adjustments should result in a better quality of service, which really, we want more people using the facilities, and we want to make sure that I did not realize that we weren't sending instructors to trainings. Like, that's something we should be doing. And so, there are things that you learn and then you can adjust. And I think that is the real crux of this for me, is that we're trying something new. And maybe it's a disaster, but maybe it goes really, really well. But what we do know is that there are problems with what we are doing. And the last time we did a flat rate increase, we saw a real exodus of membership. Sorry. And so that's what it boils down to for me. Is there further discussion from council?
Your Honor?
Councilor Malonis.
So do we have a actual financial number that this is going to give to the city in addition to what we have already?
Councilor, just for clarity, no one is proposing that we're going to make any of these facilities whole through fees. As Councilor Zadi expressed, we subsidize these facilities very heavily, and none of us can afford to pay what it would actually cost to operate.
That wasn't my question,
these
Your Honor.
facilities.
My question was, how much additional income will this bring to the rec department?
About 40,000.
40K?
But the point is that we're trying to increase the use of our facilities and the equity of the use of our facilities. We're not trying to recover costs.
So,
Your Honor, can I clarify something?
Yes, sir.
Just to help here. So I also want to make a general, because I've said this, our fees when, and this was brought up, our fees when looked at across the state are very good right now. They don't need to be moved up to, and at least to bring us into a comparative place with the state. We're at a good spot with that. What we're doing to look at fees here is, before when I worked at the Civic Center, and just even coming on in this first year as director, there's a lot of blind spots, whether it's rentals and challenges, and these facilities get used way different than they did when I came on 20-some years ago. We have a lot of organized use. We have a lot of people that are expecting gym space and expecting ice space, and certainly one way to look at how we put fees out is to consider equity across our entire user group. And as Mr. Savage presented, there was a pretty big increase in his case. But we're also in a situation where some seniors may have been paying, if they went to the center every day, pennies, 50 cents a day, or whatever it might be. So if it's $9, $10 a month, we're getting 30 some cents for them to come in. And so although the seniors were looked at this, and as we did with youth and as we did with organized groups, the equities kind of also built that. What is the normal person? What's a normal family paying? And with regard to that, when it's broken down into how much it costs to come into the building, and then if you add a class to that, that fee, although it has increased a lot for them, is still, in my opinion, somewhat nominal and lands somewhere, as I emailed all of you, somewhere between $1.60 and maybe $4 at its highest. So the question becomes somewhat, is that fair? So to answer your question, if we're saying how much money will this make? So I do have figures that, we're gonna have to recover, a few hundred memberships and a few thousand dailies at the rec center to cover this if we weren't talking about any of the extra fees that we're putting forth. My expectation is that is what would happen. But like I said, we're trying to look at fees in a new way and create equity. If this is a situation where, maybe we've looked at, a senior group and we've gone too hard that way and it's not working out, or, we need to go back and just do things that we've done classically. But I would, point out that this isn't something that hasn't been done. This is done throughout the country at multiple recreation facilities. Fees for classes are not uncommon. What's very uncommon is 2 recreation facilities in a 19 square mile area that only have 1 fee. That's very, very rare. So with regard to how much could we bring back, when we look at the classes based on what we had last year, depending on if they all paid $2, which they wouldn't, it's $30,000 to $40,000, like the mayor said. With regard to some of our rental and reservation increases and the way those are going to be done, kind of don't know, because it hasn't been computerized before. But the expectation is that we would be able to, especially with some time and people getting used to this, that this would increase. But like I said, the fees really aren't too off kilter. I wouldn't have brought a fee structure that said, let's move them up. Although we might need it for our revenue, I don't know that we're talking about to stay on par with other facilities. That wasn't the drive on this.
Thank you. So also, not one of my constituents like this new fee structure, not one of them. So everybody we listen to, none of them likes it. So just consider that when you're voting
Okay,
on
thank
this
you.
resolution.
Is there further discussion?
Your Honor,
Councillor Hanson.
there's been a lot of moving parts. And we've done a lot of talking about the Parks and Rec and the fees and everything tonight. I think that we all agree that something needs to change and we need to try something new and move forward. I want to thank JJ, his staff, and all the people that work with and for him regarding this. I want to keep the services high. I want to keep everything where we're doing a wonderful job like we are. But I think that we need to try something, and this was brought before us, and I think it's definitely worth a try. And we can make any changes that we need to down the line if we have to, but this definitely gives us a wonderful starting point for all these resolutions that we're coming up with tonight. Thank you.
Thank you. Further discussion?
Your Honor.
Councillor Bingham.
I also want to thank JJ just for the back and forth, and probably driven him a little bit crazy, but I just appreciate the work that he's done. One concern a constituent had when we first got mailed out the recreation fees was that monthly class fee. And one of the concerns was that, well, that's going to be $40 a month if they attend every day. Brought to his attention, I don't know if other counselors did either, but it'd be nice to see if there could be a monthly class fee to kind of lower those costs. That is included in the resolution. So just want to let him know I appreciate that and the work that he's done. Thank you.
Thank you. Further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
No.
Any abstaining? The motion carries with Councillor Malonis voting no, bringing us to Resolution 2025-149.
A resolution accepting and approving a revised City of Rock Springs schedule of fees for the Family Recreation Center.
Thank you. Council, do we have a motion?
Your Honor.
Councillor Bingham.
Move to approve Resolution 2025-149.
Thank you. Do we have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Councillor Demas. Is there any new discussion?
Your Honor, Your Honor.
Councillor Bingham.
just be a good idea if we pass this one, if we pass the previous one. Just saying.
Fair.
Might have some issues there if we have one center doing one thing, one the other. So,
That would be very problematic.
yeah.
Any other new discussion? Okay, hearing none. All those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
No.
Any abstaining? Okay, the motion carries with Councilor Malonis voting no, taking us to Resolution 2025-150.
A resolution of the City of Rock Springs, Wyoming, accepting and approving an equitable recreation access program for the Parks and Recreation Department and adopting policies and procedures for the implementation and operation.
Thank you. Council, do we have a motion?
Your Honor,
Councilor Hanson,
I move to approve Resolution 2025-150.
do we have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Councilor Hickerson. Is there discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
No.
Any abstaining? Okay, the motion carries with Councilor Malonis voting no, which takes us to Resolution 2025-151.
A resolution of the City of Rock Springs, Wyoming, accepting and approving a corporate membership program for the Parks and Recreation Department and adopting policies and procedures for its implementation and operation.
Thank you. Council, do we have a motion?
Your Honor,
Councilor Hickerson,
move to approve Resolution 2025-151.
do we have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Councilor Thompson. Is there discussion?
Your Honor,
Councilor Hickerson.
this is pretty new to a lot of us, so Seafood, would you please walk us through what the corporate membership program entails?
Your Honor and Mr. Hickerson.
Thank you.
Looking back through the past and just talking with staff about how some of these, how some corporate entities have been able to put together some of their own, like, in-house fitness programs or health programs. It's kind of was all over the map. We were finding that, well, we had something with one company and we really didn't have anything that structured it where we could promote it as well as have a refined way to say, this is how we can set businesses. So if there's a business as small as, 5 people, there's an opportunity there. And the discounts are kind of aligned that way, moving up as, if we can get a place like, Solvay or a large entity that would be interested in going in, we wanted to create some kind of incentive for them to come on because there'd be more memberships, which is the goal here. And so with something not being present, we want to bring something forward at least that has some structure, and our plan would be to promote it, try to probably go knock on some doors and talk to some leaders about how our business leaders and owners about how, if this would help them and put that forth. And then also having a way where, because we've had different places that, well, do you guys do this? Would this be available for ours? If I went and talked to my boss and I'm like, we really don't. And so I want to develop that. And that's what this is all about, is just developing a way where we can have that opportunity or option. And then if they're going to promise, 100 memberships, we want to incentivize that.
Appreciate that, because I had a few constituents that requested that, so thank you.
Good, great.
Further discussion? Okay,
If I
Councilor
could,
Zadi?
just add up to that a little bit. I do know, as far as employers and that, when I was with Wyoming Financial, we did pay for memberships for our employees because we knew of the health benefit of exercise and how it would potentially help in our health insurance costs and everything else. So I do think there are a lot of corporations and businesses out there that kind of look for this type of thing. And it's an added benefit they can give to their employees, so.
Very good. Further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstaining? Okay, the motion carries unanimously. Before we move on to our one ordinance this evening, which is up on its third reading, so action will be expected, I just want to thank everybody. As difficult and awkward as these conversations can be, this is the exactly perfect way that our system of government is supposed to work. I appreciate the people who came to speak. I appreciate the conversation on council. I appreciate Councilor Malonis representing his constituents and voting the way he feels they would like him to do that. I hope that we have fewer difficult and awkward conversations, but I'm very proud of how respectful and polite everybody was this evening, and I very much deeply appreciate that. So with that, Matt, if you would take us through ordinance 2025-19.
An ordinance amending Title III entitled Administration, Chapter 31 entitled Council Meetings, and amending Section 31.02 of the Code of Ordinances of the City of Rock Springs entitled Order of Business.
Thank you. Council, do we have a motion?
Your Honor,
Councilor Hickerson,
move to approve ordinance 2025-19.
do we have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Councilor Demus. Before I open it for discussion, I just remind everybody that this is just an administrative change to our ordinance that structures how our agenda flows. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, Matt, if you'll take us through, please.
Councilor Hanson,
Yes.
Zadi,
Yes.
Demus,
Yes.
Vidri,
Yes.
Bingham,
Yes.
Malonis,
Yes.
Thompson,
Yes.
Hickerson,
Yes.
Mayor Mickelson.
Yes. Okay, that passes unanimously. We are adjourned.